Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in this video we are going to talk about working of data table, logging, and Xpath parameterization in TagUI flow file. So let me quickly run my flow file which I have created for this demo, and then we'll talk about the code inside. So here is my flow file with the .tag extension and my data file in CSV format within the same path. I'm using here two arguments for this execution command. One is speed, which basically skips the 3-second delay between each data table iteration, and also skips restarting of Chrome browser after every iteration. And hyphen report, which basically enables the reporting. Let me hit the enter and it will start execution of flow file. So it launches the browser. Now it will navigate to the our test site aptivo.com, which I am using here for demo purpose. So this execution is basically a data driven process. So here our application will log in once and will create the number of invoices on the basis of number of rows available in our data file, and after the last iteration it will log off the application and close the browser. So for this demo, right now I have stored 2 rows in my data file. We can use the same script for hundreds and thousand number of rows. So it fetches the data from data file and now it will save the invoice. We are also fetching the invoice ID created on the top of the application 1131 for this example, and we're storing it in reporting purpose. So this is the next iteration. Again, we'll create the invoice and we'll store the invoice ID for reporting. So this is the last iteration for this demo. Yeah, save it. So now it will click on the log out and log off and it will close the browser. So we're done with the execution side. Now we'll go to the flow file. So this is my main flow file where I have called many sub flow files, starting with the login and navigation to the invoice page and fetching rows from data file, and invoice creation and logout. So these are the multiple subflow files I have called within the main flow file, and these are all subflow files. This is my object repository where I have stored all the locators. So let's go to the sheet I have created. So why do we use data table? Basically, we use data table for batch automation for number of reports we have, and for data driven processes we generally use data tables, and to run this we need to follow command like this, where we are calling our flow file and then data file, and we can use the arguments depending on the requirement. And also using column underscore name, that means any column within the data file within the backticks in our flow file we can use to fetch the value for that column from the data file in that iteration. Also we can use iteration within the backticks to show the current iteration number. I have used quite a lot in my flow file. Let me show you here in my main flow file. So yeah, When iteration is equal to 1, only login and counting number of rows will be processed. And when my iteration is greater than 1, we'll navigate to this site. And also for logout, I have fetched the total number of records from the data file. And when it matches to the last iteration, it will log out and log off. Okay, so now talk about logging. So logging basically after each automation run, a .log file will be created to store the output of the execution, and a .raw is the expanded form of the flow file where it collects the code from all the subscripts and creates one file under .raw extension. Also, if you want to switch off the logging, we need to put a TagUI no logging file under this path, and this file should be empty so that uh, we can switch off the logging from that execution. So let me quickly go to the logging files. So this is one where our output is stored. So execution started at this time and it performed all these activity. So this is our first iteration. It fetched the invoice ID. This is our another iteration and invoice ID is 1138. And let's talk about the another log file, which is a raw file where it collects all the data from the all the code from all the sub files and creates one main file and start execution from there. Okay, so last thing we need to talk about is Xpath parameterization. So basically there can be some situation where we need to click or check element presence dynamically based on the data we use. And if there are such situations where we need to create multiple XPath on the basis of data, so we can pass our variable coming from data file or another or any variable we have created within the XPath so that uh, we can minimize the number of XPath creation and we can handle it handle the situation dynamically. For example, let me show you my repository where I have used same. So yeah, here it is. So payment term where I'm selecting the multiple items within the drop down, and this value is coming from the CSV file, data file, and yeah, so we can pass it like this within the double quotes, the variable, and it will be dynamically handled. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. Bye bye.